Mavericks. Yeah.
This is it. 8 days ago, the journey began. Hundreds chased the dream. Dozens believed that they could be the one. But tonight, only 4 remain. Nowhere left to hide. No tomorrow, no second chances. Just 2 finals, 2 trophies, and an opportunity to go down in history. This is the Maverick Arena. This is Championship Night. And this is the WTT US Smash, and it's all about the gold here today as we see some of the most impressive light shows in the Maverick. Let's take a look at the men's matchup for the championship title, because it's going to be an absolute banger. That Japanese wonder kid has earned his crack at his first ever Clash title, but look at the man on the right, Sidorenko. So impressive. The fairy tale story so far. Can he go one further and pull off a shock win here in the Maverick? And then it's the women's, because it's coming up first. Sunyan Shah, world #1. Eliminated here last year, round of 16. This time, she's got her eyes firmly on the prize. But Kwai Man, she's already faced elimination twice before in 2 consecutive days. She's still here, she's still dangerous, and she is gonna fight for gold. Let's take a look at how the draw is unplayed here then. You can see Shasha's route at the top of your screen. She only dropped a single game en route here to this final. At the bottom then, Kwai Man, Hitomi Sato, arguably match of the event, and then Miwa Harimoto earlier today. Kwai Man has more than earned her shot at the #1 in the world, at the gold, and we're about ready.
Champions glory on the line. Maverick Arena, let's count this down from 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
From China, Kwai Man. From China, Sunyan Shah.
And here comes the world #1. Maverick applauds its superstar. She's hunting her 6th WTT Smash singles title, and she has looked formidable so far here at the US Smash. My name is Joe Ratajczak. I am delighted to be welcomed alongside Adam Bobrow in the booth for this final.
Hey, thanks for having me, Joe. What a treat to be here. We are looking forward to what is maybe one of the most even matchups in terms of their last 4 encounters. Shasha's rarely tested, but it's going to take more than just some luck because this is a best of 7.
Absolutely, it's big time. Best of 7, cameras and phones out. This is the tail of the table. Sunyan Shah on your left has a 4-2 advantage over Kwaiman, but you mentioned it, Adam. Their last 4 meetings split 50-50. The woman on your left, she's the gold standard of our sport. She is the world #1. The lady on your right, 22-year-old, has been as high as #3 in the world. So many times we talk about if someone's got a chance, as we see Akram Ben-Attia in the umpire's chair for this one. We'll get underway with the coin toss to determine who's going to serve first here.
Toss, please. Black or red? Black for Kwai and red for Sun. Black, Kwai, you win the toss. What do you choose? Service for Kwai, receive for Sun. Which side? Good match.
So Kwaiman will serve first in this final. Leaning, racket, reveal time, and both of these rackets, extremely fast setups. Grippy rubbers, inverted normal attacking rubbers on both sides for both players. Adam, this is going to be an absolutely fascinating back and forth here.
Yeah, just on the topic of equipment, if you've never played with the Chinese national team professional racket, that setup, it's actually incredibly slow on the forehand in the touch game. It's so tacky. It takes a lot of racket speed to really generate power. It's unlike anything you've ever played with, but they're playing with the best equipment here, from the Yola Horizon to the Enlio Super Weaving Floor, the DJ Plus 40. Man, the DHS ball there with 3 stars, but Shasha always on the ball.
Absolutely, 25 years old, she's a superstar. WTT win percentage, just ridiculous, 91%. And she's got 18 WTT titles to her name, and this is how she's got here. Youngsi Liu, the Australian, seen off 3-0. Same for Nina Mittelham, Dina Meshref, who did so wonderfully to get to the round of 16, unable to put a dent in this woman's armor. Tong Tong suffered in the quarterfinals as well, and then earlier on today, in the semi-finals, it was Wong Yidi, and it was a Shasha win. As we take a look at the first smash of this year, and Shasha getting it done, 4-2 over the world #2 with a blistering forehand counter. And look at the celebration. We love it. She's hunting her second smash of the year, but this is a very dangerous matchup, Adam. So often we talk about whether these challengers can even get their first win against Shasha. This woman's done it more than once.
Yeah, she's in a very, I'd say, exclusive category in that way. It's also interesting to look at players where they are in their career. So Shasha will be 26 at the end of this year, and Kwaiman 22. Elena Zaharia 3-0, Mo Jong 3-1. Shin Yu Bin without dropping a game. That's really something. The Hitomi Sato match is unlike anything you've ever seen before. The best expedite rule match I've ever seen. And then Miwa Harimoto earlier today, incredible. Here's a look back at it.
Yeah, and this was a match where Kwaiman faced the exit door in this one, but she refused to step through it, and she eventually got it done, and that was the moment. 4-3. She spent, in the last 24 hours, as we see some of the fans cheering, she spent nearly 3 hours on table here in the Maverick Arena. So she's got some reps under her.
Man, sort of like the fans, except their reps are just sitting and cheering and enjoying. Not a bad option here. Speaking of options, pick one of those.
Yeah, and this is what they're playing for, that beautiful trophy, and the winner here will go away with 103 thou.
Love all.
Fans have it 3/4 in favor of the world #1, understandably so. But how many times would we have written off Kwaiman with less odds than that already here this week?
Love all. One love.
So Adam, what do you think tactically as we see the first point go Kwaiman's way for the challenger? What has she got to bring to this matchup?
Well, she's got to bring a lot of resilience. She's got to bring a lot of balance, efficiency, and surprise.
1-1.
Closed racket on occasion. We've seen her in doubles where she's been able to handle some of the heaviest spin shots. A break off the net here for Sciascia gets her a full swing, so she raises her hand to acknowledge the fortune.
Both of these two have incredibly fast serves that they'll use at time to spear into the body and try and force their opponent back.
This feels like it's been a trend recently with many of the younger players. And while Sciascia for Team China is not one of the younger players anymore, she's very up on the trends. For example, not a trend follower, but someone who recognizes a trend and then raises the bar within the trend that already existed. I think there are a lot of things that people forget when they're watching. Like to turn off their flash. Know that there are a lot of ways to win a point in table tennis, that it's not just power. Sciascia has so much spin variation in her game. She has a long list of answers.
4-2.
She puts you under such pressure with everything that she plays. She's so well balanced. Look at that, some of the VIPs in the house.
Xiao Zhan on the left, He Xiao on the right, both of whom have been with the Chinese team for quite some time. Everyone else well-dressed. Everyone in the picture well-dressed, some clearly on the job. I like the intention here. Kuai Man looking to get in aggressive where she can. Again, in terms of reading spin, there's a lot to think about because you've got Sciascia waiting with the third ball and you've got to get back for your fourth, expecting it to come back. But in this game of cat and mouse right now, mouse played by Kuai Man. She's just on the chase here to stay in it. Sciascia in control.
Sciascia throws up an apology. A great view from Kuai Man. That final forehand clipping the back edge. Some crowd control needed here. Packed Maverick Arena for finals day. That'll make Kuai Man feel a little better.
It's not easy to get Sciascia behind the table. I think Kuai Man, one, with her quality of serve, and two, how it sets her up for her third ball attack. Three, the unpredictability factor. She's so flexible with the wrist. Where is she going to go? Tough to know. Now we're talking.
6-4.
So the serve, quick follow-up, backhand. The most signature shot for me for Kuai Man is her step around forehand, the inside-out shot. But that backhand, you saw how much body she got behind it. Full stroke, and it's a winner. I brought up something earlier that I think might be an interesting conversation topic. Sciascia might be still improving. Kuai Man, you would expect. The best years are ahead. We just wonder, will there be a point, right, where someone's on her way down and the other's still on her way up?
5-7.
Yeah, Sciascia, the thought of her improving must terrify the rest of the top 100 women because she's still so complete, even at, I say at this level, thinking if she is going to improve.
I think she has to, and she does. It's amazing. The discipline, all that out of the second towel break. It's a 2-point ball game.
6-7.
Heavy spin here. Kuai Man with a lot of racket speed. You can swing as fast as you can and hit a very slow ball if you contact it just right. So the arc there right to the baseline. Still reading the body language of the opponent, Kuai Man.
Step forward with that left leg, Kuai Man. Put some heat on that backhand.
The first half of this game so far that we saw, it looked like a runaway. Sciascia looked like she just had all the answers, and Kuai Man in this ever-evolving game has leveled completely. It's got Sha sweating. Well, now a fast serve, and Kwai Mon says, you can't bully me. Oh yeah, come in, try to push me off the table. Spin right back, racket head up. This to me is Sha looking nervous.
And we've seen this all week from Kwai Mon. She's been under pressure and she's had all the answers. Chop block.
Oh, after that, in a rally like this, the moment that Kwai Mon pulls off a chop block in a high heat exchange here and then earns herself the finisher, Sha-Sha's shot was still pretty well protected though. Oh man, Kwai Niwa. Like any other emotion, someone can be nervous. It's temporary. I think we've all been sad, and then a minute later something happens and we're just thrilled, or the opposite. It's the same for athletes out here, and finding their confidence to stay free and fluid is so important. Short side of the table, not enough room to hit to, and suddenly Sha with 2 game points.
So often we see Sha challenged and it's at like 7 or 8 or 9 or, and then she just steps forward with that extra quality. And it feels like she's done that here in this opener, in the final. She's now got 2 serves under her spell as well to try and close it out.
Good save there, good recovery from Sha, but still the put away down the line. So there's the clip of the net. Not a bad position to be in, but with no spin, still has to take her chances and risk a bit, Kwai Mon.
Kwai Mon's got such wonderful flexibility in her wrist. When she swings for that forehand, she often leaves it till the very last moment to decide where she's going, and it makes it so hard to know where it is going to land on the table. Engineers a forehand, and when it comes, it doesn't come back.
The physicality required with Kwai Mon playing this shot, then the step around right back to where it came from. Sha didn't take the bait. She opens the gate. And looking for revenge, she is the Avenger. She is Baby Buddha, and this is Endgame.
Welcome back inside the Maverick Arena. So the first game, the first foothold in the final, goes the way of the world #1, Adam.
Well, fire has been started.
No flash.
Kwai Mon Jae-Oh shouts the first, and then everything else follows. There's an unusual rhythm to the Kwai Mon Jae-Oh chant.
Second game, soon to serve, love all. Love 1.
This serve's a wonderful serve to earn that ball inside the table. I'm still not convinced that as confident as Sha is, she's not feeling concern with Kwai Mon on the other side. We can see it. It's not her usual self. It's a struggle. That said, this is what half long is all about. We saw it against Sidorenko in the semifinals. A serve that looks like it might come off the table, but Kwai Mon didn't wait. She was there for the Chiquita, and still it snuck under the blade.
Again, it's not the first time we've seen a slower, spinnier ball from Kwarman.
Her backhand has been very versatile and very effective. She comes in with the racket speed and then chooses where to invest it, either in power or spin. Well, we know where the investment was on that one. A long serve and the fast feet of Sciascia turned the corner. Bottle challenge accepted. By the way, it's a sliding scale between power and spin. Some combination of the two. Oh, surprise, surprise. There's still cable there. Sciascia probably knows the dimensions of this table better than anybody in the game. But that ball, the arc and the dip on it, made it come down right at the baseline. Seatbelt, buckle up for this best of 7 as Sciascia abbreviates her stroke to make this nice and efficient. Wow, flexibility there.
She did this earlier in the session this morning against Wang Yidi so many times. We know the leg strength and the core strength. Sciascia just leans back to create space and then whips that forehand across her body. She's also very happy to counter. She's happy to let you throw the first punch and then she'll counter.
Ma Long taught a lot to the world, especially Team China, which is why he'd been captain for so long until Wang Chuqin recently announced captain.
Yeah, fully deserved that as well for what that man did.
The reason I brought that up is when you hear about someone allowing the other to attack, when he beat Fan Zhendong in 2017 to become back-to-back world champion, he did not initiate as much as Fan Zhendong did.
Wonderful deception from the world number 1.
Yeah, that side swipe, that inside out, a little bit of a look to the left, then hand to the right. Loving it.
And this is what she kind of brings to the table and why she's the world number 1 is when she is possibly feeling nervous or not quite firing on all cylinders, she can then tighten the game up.
Yeah, knowing how to handle your nerves, turning that energy into excitement is a very powerful skill to have. We all have emotions, whether we show them or not, but if we can control them instead of them controlling us, well, we are quite empowered. She is, oh, so empowered.
Towel break time. We can go to it every 6 points. Heavy spin by the world number 1, by Sciascia. Wide into the forehand of Kwarman. But listen, if you've watched the quarterfinals, if you've watched the semifinals, you know not to write off Kwarman. But right now, she's just getting melted by the flame of Sciascia.
Yeah, the afterburners here as she turns the corner. The speed on this shot, there's no speed limit because she's got the length of the table. Full stroke, side spin on it as well. Were you here for the Where's Waldo competition?
I wasn't, no.
Oh, okay. Well, Sciascia had 6 of the last 8 points before this. The house was so packed the other day, I said WTT should do a Where's Waldo competition. I found Waldo in the crowd.
It's on Kwarman to try and find a foothold in this final. As good as her powers of recovery have been this week, she doesn't want to give this world number 1 behemoth a lead. And it's 5 game points.
Bit of a head fake. Kwarman throwing up that flexible wrist at the last moment, doing what she does. She's capable. Not many can say that they've beaten Sciascia 2 of their last 4 times. Look at the bend on that. Still 4 game points left for the world number 1.
Heavy spin by Sasha. She just loads it up into a good area, and she recovers, ready to hit another one if she needed to, but she didn't. It hit the net and carried long. And just like that, world number 1 in this final has started fast. She's got a 2-0 lead over Kwaiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you an opportunity right now to get some merch that I need you down to the get out. If you want, you can find something now.
Hey, there's always lots going on, and Shishan Yao came out for some selfies and some signatures. This is why the Smash is always the hottest ticket in town. You get to get closer to these world-class athletes than ever before, and one of China's best. She was in the hall earlier, warming up with both athletes this morning, and it's great for people to leave with a lovely bit of memorabilia. Sign bats, sign balls. It's all smiles at the US Smash, but there's no smiles for the corner of Kwaiman. She could presumably barely hear herself think, Adam. It's a fever pitch out here in the Maverick.
Yeah, when you're used to playing in China and you're ever playing against Sasha, I think this is, while it's quite a crowd, she's prepared for this. She's used to it. Xu Tiao in the crowd. Fans. Some of them just Sasha fans, for that matter.
Third game, Kwai to serve, love all.
So it's not quite must-win just yet for Kwaiman. But she's got to get something going, and we see another blistering backhand.
I feel like Sasha's found her rhythm. She's found her confidence. It's going to be that much tougher. Don't get me wrong, Kwaiman still has a lot of answers, but she seems free. She's getting shots a little bit loose now to just explode on. Strawberry attempted, but a long push. She's pulling her around by a string now. If there's a 3-point lead in this game, I think Kwaiman's going to have to call for a minute to try and come up with some answers.
That's a rare mistake, though, from the world number 1 at the net.
Nice soft hands, Kwaiman touching it, dropping it just behind. Short to the forehand after a player stepped around to use that forehand from the deep backhand corner a few times.
3-2.
Kwaiman has lots of weapons. There's a reason why she's 50-50 with this titan of the game, Sasha, in their last 4 meetings.
Good hands there, the placement. Kwaiman gets Sasha to push the ball from just behind the table there, and now she can open. When the ball's that deep, there's just so much time for the opponent to react that if it's a push, man, they can set up camp and just power through. So, good start here for Kwaiman, but she's going to need more than a start.
Really committed to the left-hand side, Kwaiman, to play the backhand. It left a little bit of space, but Sasha couldn't quite find it.
Yeah, it worked out well to put the pressure on. And again, that wrist, keeping it unpredictable, not leaving Sasha much time to really plant the feet and set up.
And this is what Sasha does so well. She recognizes patterns. She saw Kwaiman's step, look, and then just fired the ball down the line.
You'd have to imagine part of that is anticipation and the rock, paper, scissor element. What does my opponent want to do? What is my opponent most likely to do? But that right there looked like it would have hit her in the body in the first game. Of course, she got the racket on it a few times. Watch the placement on this, perfectly at the elbow, but Sasha gets low. Covers that to bring it back. She's coming back into it. Still Kwai-Man in the lead.
Let 5-4.
Sent it off fast. But Sun Ying-sha sent it back even quicker.
It's a nice low shot using the safe length of the table there on the diagonal. This is a great way to block from a pattern standpoint in the women's game that's mostly backhand for efficiency. It's also tougher to recoil after a forehand for another.
5-6.
Interesting. Kwai-Man got pushed from pillar to post here as wide as can be, but she got the feet moving. Found a home for her forehand herself.
Yeah, it felt like every time she moved, she had guessed right, so to speak. She had moved to the right place. Surprise, surprise, one more to the backhand as Xia goes parallel in this rally. This feels like the time. If you were on the bench for Kwai-Man after the last game, you say, this is it, this is the one. Going down 0-3 against Xia. I don't know. I'd love the statisticians to find me the last time Xia was beaten after being up 3-0 against anybody.
Yeah. Not sure even Kwai-Man could pull that off this week. Oh, it touched the back edge.
6-7.
You heard it. Quick to apologize for Sun Ying-sha.
It wasn't deuce in the decider, so it won't hurt much.
Kwai-Man, credit to her. She's a brilliant server. There's been a few cheap points that she's been able to get. Xia bemoans the technique she used there. But this is so often what we see. People can get close, and then she just steps away.
Nice opening created to find this. As a left-handed player, Ellie Samaro's wonderful at this from down low, but this closure, reaching out in front, guiding to the wide forehand of her right-handed opponent. Very tactically well thought out there and executed. The free hand. When your opponent throws up the free hand, you have done something right, because even if she catches it, as cool as it looks, no bueno. It's your opponent's point. A behind the back shot is a better attempt, but Xia was just that quick and unpredictable in that moment.
Just like that, it's 8-all. How on earth did the world #1 stay in that?
Not bothered to be pushed back at all. Parallel, a reach. This is where leg strength comes in. She doesn't lose her balance for a moment. And every shot has intention, even on defense. Baseline, topspin,
Yeah.
to the forehand so that I'm already in position.
Let 8-9.
I love that about that last point. Xia just kicking the ball, putting topspin on it. It went up high, it hit the table, and then it drove forward towards Kwai-Man, I should say. Wow, what a backhand, though. And what a time to pull that out. At 8-9 down, she rips a backhand cross court.
It's been a signature shot for her. Again, it might not be the flashiest shot, but it keeps her in position, and it's been effective. Selfie time. Wow. Half selfie, half not. Maybe they're just taking video of the rest of the crowd here. Look at the serve percentages. Xia, 2/3. Kwai-Man, less. Well, now change of pace. That's interesting. I love watching where the ball bounces in moments like this. Watch where Kwai-Man's bounces on this ball. Near the baseline, deeper to the backhand, enough into the crossover that someone who loves to step around has a longer way to go.
And it's game point now for the number 7 seed. And it's another slower, spinnier roll-up from Kwai Man. And we said it wasn't quite must win. But she did get it done.
That push right there on receive was super. Yes, it was reactionary. She wanted to attack and she had to change her mind. But the push was so uncomfortable that she got Shasha to play a ball back that allowed her the opening. 4th ball, stealing what would have been a 3rd ball attack and taking this 3rd game. The plot thickens as Kwai Man gets 1 game on the board.
And look at the fans. Look at all the signs. It's the hottest ticket in town. Maverick Arena is vibrating at the moment. China being represented very well, as they always are around the globe. Is that Buzz Lightyear in the front row I can see there?
Oh, yeah.
She's got a Mexico top on as well, as an Englishman. I don't want to see that in a close-up. Currently playing in the soccer, but it's back to table tennis we go. And it's back to big time. Kwai Man, Mandy, as she's known in China.
I've heard the nickname quite a bit. She's warmed to it. Yeah, in China, interesting. Curious to know more about that. Shasha, just in case she ever loses her blade, has that identification on the bottom.
Yeah.
Picture, proof of ownership of racket. Yes.
Soon to serve. Love all.
So here we go then. Did things just get a little more interesting in this women's final? Feels like they might have done, yeah.
A narrow margin victory, though. It feels like a tug of war in terms of confidence. As Kwai Man gets more confident, Shasha's confidence, you could imagine, might diminish a little bit.
Has there ever been a female player who's got as powerful a forehand as Shasha, do you think, Adam?
If you were just measuring speed and strength, probably. But if you were also measuring consistency, unpredictability, reliability, I mean, there are a lot of factors. And I don't even say that with great confidence. It's just that the sport's been around for a while, and there are some strong women, but the legs of Shasha, the work she puts in, it's possible not.
Yeah, you mentioned the word I love there, reliability. So often, it's deadly. She's also able to squeeze it and shoehorn it into rallies where it seems like it isn't going to work, but it does.
It's also a different, I mean, it's a little bit tough to measure, right? You've got players like Mima Ito who can smash, and Satsuki Odo that can just demonstrate serious speed.
Yeah. Probably worth shouting out Sabina Winter as well. She's got a cannon of a forehand.
For sure. Good point.
There's a wonderful back and forth. There's that forehand there. Fading round the ball. She recovers so quickly, Shasha. Both of these two, to be fair.
Little reminder if you're just joining us, Shasha, before that last game, had only dropped 1 game this entire event. Not for lack of strong opponents. Even getting through, oh, that was adorable. Even getting through the qualifiers is not easy. A lot of legends of the sport, people with WTT titles didn't make it out of the qualification round, let alone through the round of 64 or the final.
Yeah, so often against Shasha, it's more about not being embarrassed in defeat. To just earn a game feels like a victory against her, such as how strong a grip she has on the rest of the world. But again, it's another misread, or a slight misread on this Kwai Man serve. And it keeps it within a 2-point ball game here in this 4th. Reminder, it's a best of 7.
was wondering when the parallel would come out. Just a little less time for Sha to react, and with the height on these balls, Kwaimon is able to change it up very subtly. Ooh, 16 out of the last 32. Doesn't matter which player you pick, you get the same result. Quite balanced.
Let 5-4.
And we said that Kwaimon's dangerous. This is only her second ever Grand Smash event. 2 years ago at the Singapore Smash was the first. Wonderful forehand to finish it.
Do you mean where she made it to a final or just participated?
What do you mean?
You said this is her second Grand Smash event?
No, final.
Okay, good, good. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page here.
She's been a winner at FIDE contender, star contender level as well. Would love to add a smash to her time, to her resume. But it's a big challenge because Sha seems to be peaking again.
Yeah, we've seen many players top in the world that aren't able to pass even the quarterfinals, depending on where you come from, who you play for, and who you get in your draw. This is as tough as it comes.
7-5.
Kwaimon did really well to absorb that forehand here because it was a big one that came from the world number one.
Yeah, really had to close that racket, reach out in front, turn it down to keep it on the table. Use the spin coming in, and it's a 2-point ball game. So back from the second towel break, Sha just drying her hand, despite having just come back from a towel break. Sometimes it's a little bit more like a, not a mantra, but you know, your thing. Part of the routine.
8-5.
Not superstition, just a little stition.
And this time Sha forcing Kwaimon into a battle of recovery in that forehand. So clever with her placement, the world number one. So clever with her serves when she needs them to be.
5-9.
In a lot of sports, even here in the United States, people will write all these plans just to make sure they have the best sort of chance of taking advantage of having the ball. When you're on serve, it's the same. But this was, in some senses, an interception. It was stolen on receive. And Sha sets up 5 game points for a 3-1 lead by turning that corner and playing her forehand.
What a brilliant read, what a brilliant counter. 99.9% of the world wouldn't even get bat on ball. The world number one did, and she sent it back with interest. And what a way to re-establish her 2-game lead here. Number one seed, trying to add a 6th Grand Smash title to her resume. And she's 3-1 up here on Kwaimon. So let's take you behind the scenes and look at the fairy tale story of this event. He's having fun back there, practicing the snakes. Can Vladimir Sidorenko pull off another shocking upset? Or will Sora Matsushima claim his first Grand Smash title? It's coming up right after this one.
Can't have more contrasting body language moments before the match, my goodness. As Kwaimon calls out the flashes in the crowd.
Flash.
Sidorenko just looking like a guy who had some free time. And Sora,
Quiet to serve. Last all.
like he had a tough homework assignment he didn't really want to do or had to redo.
Yeah, for Sidorenko, he's just living the dream right now. And he's living it like a dream. And he's been wonderful all week here, as has Kwaimon. She needs those powers of recovery again that she had in the quarters and the semis.
Last 2.
It's a good way to start this. Now it is must win for Kwai Mun. She needs 3 games on the bounce to try and leave with the title.
On the bounce, I think, is going to be a key factor here in many senses. She's going to have to be on the balls of her feet. She's going to have to initiate very quickly. It's a fine balance of being relaxed, but making sure that you're in position enough that you don't have to panic, that you have good options. Because when Sha turns on the pressure, it's a pressure that you can't find from anyone else. Yeah, sure, they practice together in the training hall, but match time is a little bit different. Good parallel here.
3-1.
She's used it effectively on multiple occasions. Just guiding, that's the calm. She keeps the racket high until she earns herself the opportunity to drop the racket head and then add that much more force to the ball.
There's that backhand. But it went straight into that forehand of Sha.
Sha's leaning here, and watch what she has the wherewithal to do. She's leaning, she's reaching, she's not on balance, but the ball still comes back in the perfect place to make it uncomfortable for Kwai Mun.
Let 3-2.
Speed game. It's just amazing to me that Sha can just drill the ball forward as fast as she does on this. And Kwai Mun reaching across the body not only makes the shot, but moves back into the table in the process, twice.
She walked the feet in really well, Kwai Mun. You said about she needs to be on the bounce, on her tiptoes, and she was there. Took the ball incredibly early.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sha wipe the table after this.
Yeah.
Let's just see here. She looks at it for a moment. Okay, that might be enough to clear it. She's got powerful stare.
5-3.
Same for Kwai Mun. I thought she was going to do it then as well.
Yeah, they both had moments where the rally would normally continue. And then there was a bounce that was sort of like, eh? Ruby? Short side catches the edge, a little skate there, a rail slide from Kwai Mun.
Oh, this is going to be the perfect view. Yeah, ball came up. That's how you know it's an edge and not a side. And that's why we didn't go to TTR.
That's interesting. There's a lot to talk about there, but I know what you mean.
4-6.
Pressured that wide backhand of Kwai Mun. It was a serve receive that got away from the world number 1. But she did well to bring the point back under her spell, and it's a 2-point ball game here. Wonderful forehand again, up the line, up that parallel. You could see where Kwai Mun was expecting it to go cross court, and it didn't.
And that was a top shelf shot right there. That was quality, and the timeout now on Kwai Mun's side. Still has a lead. It's nice to have that. Again, speaking to yourself, the most important conversation you'll ever have is the one that you have with yourself. And Kwai Mun, with no coach on the bench, has positivity right now, at least in this 6-5 lead. But whatever she can find, the plan is going to have to get her through this game and then start to do the same just after that.
Yeah, as we look at her past 4-tier results, semi-finalist here last year. She's gone one further this time. Can she do the unthinkable and pull this one back? Round of 16 then for Europe Smash, China Smash, and then the first one of this year along the way. still hunting that real marquee WTT.
All right, who do we have? Wang Manyu on the left in front of Ma Lin, who's on his cell phone. We've got Bai Suwan next to Wang Manyu. Shi Xuanyao, who did her autograph session. Qin Yuxuan in the back next to Didi. In front, Xu Yi, and on the far right, Zhu Ziyu maybe? Chopper? Tough to tell. Wang Yu run, the team doctor, covered a little bit in the shadow there.
That is a superpower, because the team doctor, you can only see about 30% of his face.
But he's got a very unique 30% to his face. That was the only, if they had showed me his full face, I wouldn't have known. I've only seen that exact 30%.
Something in the crowd. Got the atmosphere up a little bit.
Five,
The other
6.
70% of Wang Yurun's face. Here we go. Some blushing in the front row, that's fun.
Seven, 5.
Kwai Man did so well to tuck up the world #1 here in that body. Look at that one. Barely any space to move, but she found a response.
Perfect description after a seatbelt shot there, hugging the sign. Up, up. When you recognize you're on TV. Aw, Jiao Sun. Little sunshine there next to the Jiao. Ooh,
8-5.
not just the placement, but the deception on the spin. Xia gets around this. There's no follow through. That's called covering up your tracks. Give as little clue as you can to the opponent. Timeout so far has worked well. 2 in a row. Got her edge there.
Yeah, IOU cashed in.
Yep. You can't just write #1 fan and then post new names on it whenever you... I mean, you can, obviously, but it just doesn't mean it, right? Copy and paste love letters to people? Come on.
Yeah, so for context, that fan has been here all week and there's been a different name every single time.
6,
Maybe
8.
they're just everyone's favorite fan.
It's completely possible. Yeah, it could be the #1 table tennis fan, period. Ivor Montague.
This was
6-9.
interesting from Kwai Man. Played it really wide on this one with side spin, and then look how deep this push goes. Right into the baseline, right into the white line.
It's a very unusual combination of shots, and it sets up a 3-point lead. Speed right here. That shot, the combination again, how can you possibly recover? Long serve, she knows the plan. Talk about moves in advance. I think she could have scripted that. This is when you know what's most likely to come back. Well,
10,
now,
7.
service trouble. We've got 3 of the 4 players left across both events are left-handed. But there's another lefty who's got incredible serves. Kwai Man sets up 3 game points to make it a 3-2 lead for Xia.
And it was never, ever going to be anything other than epic. Because I mention it, because it's so relevant. Quarterfinals, Kwai Man was down. Semifinals, she was facing the exit door. And she recovered then, and she's starting to recover now. Kwai Man now has 2 games on the board there, 11-7 in the 5th. Listen to the noise in the Maverick, and there's one of the cutest leaning ball kids.
2 to serve, love all.
For what it's turning out to be a wonderful final here. Said that last game was must win for Kwai Man. She got it done.
Good reach on defense for one, but Sasha taking advantage using the length of the table with her opponent far behind. Not a bad ball, doesn't miss by much. This rally could have continued, looking like Alexia out there. I'll tell you what I like about this match. Specifically, that Kwai Man's playing so well that it's forcing Sasha to think of new ideas, to make her nervous.
The celebration there, it was a beautiful backhand, stepping inwards from the world number one.
You don't get to see the greatest in the game play their greatest unless someone unlocks it. If it's required, right? It wouldn't be interesting to see Suning Shah, as good as the ball kids might be, play one of the ball kids right now. You wouldn't really appreciate how many levels there are to the game, but Kwai Man is bringing out the absolute top from the top. And that's what it takes. Sasha, not vacation time yet, but she was going way out there for that one. Inside out forehand in the opposite corner, coast to coast she goes. Reached. Oh, can somebody else grab that? I can't reach it. Kwai Man. Speedy, recovered, efficient. Ah, something. There's something. Sora found that too.
Yeah, not that Felix was too pleased about it.
Yeah, little disagreement there about existence.
Kwai Man is able to put so much spin on her forehand. And you can tell because that's a few times it's hit Suning Shah's bat and just kicked long.
Sasha also took the risk to play the short side, the less safe shots of the options. But for elements of surprise, when she makes it, it pays off. That's the risk. I know Jimmy's not here right now, but he'd be thrilled to hear us say down the line table tennis is winning table tennis.
So Sasha, world number one, still has her timeout. If Kwai Man can muster a little run of points here, we might see it.
Short side looking attractive in that moment. I want to see Sasha play it around the net on an opportunity like this. It's an option, but this worked just fine. Hold the fort down.
Sasha went for this fading forehand. Didn't quite come down, but the idea was wonderful. She'd wrong-footed Kwai Man and earned the opportunity to try and find the space. Both of these so...
Oh, the net to save her. This is why you never give up. You might be out of position, but if you can just get it on the table, you force your opponent to make one more shot. And who knows, between nets and edges, it was a net. Wow, not Kaufman, but the one splitting the table in two. Annette Kaufman's great as well, different left-hander, but in this moment, Kwai Man with a much-needed point.
Heavy backspin, it looks like, from Sasha. As much as she could muster in the moment. It hit Kwai Man's bat and sunk like a bowling ball.
In a swimming pool.
Wow, when do you ever see Suning Shah step right across and play that backhand banana like she did here, but she's trying to apply pressure. Such is the challenge she's facing.
Yeah, And she's also chasing a lot of shots. Kwai Mon is playing in combinations. Much like that point where Sha had 3 in a row that felt like she knew exactly what was coming, Kwai Mon setting it up. But she steals control at this point. Hands on the steering wheel as Sha turns the shot into her own. She's there for the parallel. Watch this. 1. And then she comes right back cross court, wide enough to the backhand that step around was not as possible as Kwai Mon expected.
Six.
Pretty much the live fan vote in-house.
I love it when Sha does this. She goes down to serve and she just takes an extra beat. She makes you wait for her rhythm.
There were a lot of mind games in the men's singles semifinals. Probably the women's as well. But after all, that's all part of the game. And you can understand why she makes you wait. Because it's worth the wait. Look at this. Ripped, torn, and straight to Barrierville.
That was more akin to a home run at the Dodger Stadium, that one. And she's 3 points away from the title. But again, this tricky server pulls out something that just mystifies the world number 1.
You said home run earlier. This is swinging Shohei Ohtani right now. The rip and the power that she gets on this after such a fast exchange, the lean, the seatbelt, and a backhand jumping. Boing. She channeled her inner Super Mario on that. I know she loves him.
2 away now from her 6th Grand Smash title. 1 foot on the finish line for the world number 1.
She's 1 for 1 for smashes this year, and she's 1 point away for being 2 for 2. Lady Liberty, Baby Buddha. She's got the serve to do it.
She survived the net cord, but it wasn't enough because Kwai Mon kept on corking forehands.
Wow, abbreviated stroke time and time again. Whatever the fortune was, Shasha's dealing with it. Kwai Mon acknowledging it, but she's got the serves back if she can get through the first.
What drama in the Maverick Arena in this women's final. Just wonder, this power of recovery that Kwai Mon has here in Southern California, at what point does that start to enter the psyche of both?
Well, I think as a spectator, we can enjoy how many match points she's saved. And a timeout on Shasha's side. Let's just think about it for a minute. You called the Miwa match. I called the Sato match. The Sato match, she was down 8-10 in the 6th, I think. Maybe it was the 5th. Either way, saved, I think, 7 total across the match. It was unbelievable. It was Liang Jingquin-like mental strength. And she's young. She's 22 years old. Shasha, at 25, maybe hasn't reached her peak yet. I think she can play for a long time, but as amazing as Luxembourg is, China's got a lot of champions waiting. But look at her results in recent events. Champion of the Singapore Smash 2023, China Smash 24, Singapore Smash 25, Europe Smash 25, and the Singapore Smash earlier this year. What if she were to have a clean sweep of 4 smashes in the same year?
You wouldn't put it past her. She's a magician at the table. But she's got to face a Kwai-Man serve now to try and get this one over the line.
Those blue lights, that's interesting. That might be a sign. You know, blue light wakes you up. So, our camera team might have been clever as people hope and put it out there in the universe for their player.
9-10.
It's the serve with Kwai-Man down 9-10. Third championship point for Sciascia. Sciascia got the net, Kwai-Man recovers it, and the ball that feels like T-ball for Sciascia, this one right here, we've seen how much she's punished that. It's a whiff, a swing and a miss. Except one strike, you're out. And we've got deuce in the sixth.
What drama here in the Maverick Arena. What a serve receive to pull out at 10-all.
Let's look at it one more time. Chiquita is fast. I mean, backhand attack straight cross court as low as can be from the forehand side.
11-10, please.
This is 4 points in a row and a game point to send it to the decider.
It might be Kwai-Man's year. My word, the powers of recovery. She doesn't know when she's beaten. She's faced game points and match points and the elimination so many times this week. But here we go, decider time for all the marbles, for all the gold.
So looking on the Chinese team, head coach Ma Lin, Wang Manyu, who's a world champion in the United States, Bai Siwen was warming up Sciascia for a match earlier in this round. You'll be seeing her. She's done well. A lot of youngsters from China. Kwai-Man, one of them, but she's one of the early bloomers, let's say. And look at this record in deciding games. Sciascia 80%, Kwai-Man 44%. That is a crazy differential, but it speaks to the mental strength of the enlightened one, Baby Buddha.
Flicked the edge. Hey, listen, that same stat in deciding games would have been read in the quarterfinals against Kwai-Man. It would have been read in the semifinals against Kwai-Man. Write her off at your peril. This is a tug of war out here. But Sciascia with another baseball bat-like backhand. Fanning backhand there from Kwai-Man. But Sciascia had commitment. She went full send, and rightly so. She's earned the first 2 points here in this decider.
The chase is worth it. If Kwai-Man had a timeout left, she'd use it now, but she doesn't. There are no lifelines. The parachutes have been pulled. The bridges have been kicked off. They stand alone on this lonely island, battling for 103 grand and some big and bigger trophies.
Kwai Man feel right now? Knowing that she's battle-tested, knowing that she's got through the other rounds to bring her to this moment. She steps forward, different serve location for the number 7 seed. And she's stepping forward in this decider as well.
We wouldn't normally speak this way about Kwai Man. It wouldn't normally be such a shock for her to be this deep. But the score lines, where she's come from to get here, you have to imagine Sidorenko has a similar attitude. If I can do what I've done, I can do anything. Good read on the strawberry. Shasha handles the side spin well, and at the first towel break, a bit tighter than it was when Kwai Man was down 0-3. I like the idea. It opened up the line. We've seen Kwai Man make similar shots. Never easy with the quality coming in, but what's easy for Kwai Man and what's easy for other people are two very different things.
It was a wonderful serve because it caught Kwai Man stretching forward. Wasn't quite sure how much spin was on the ball.
To me, it looked like she had 3 different shots in mind. And at the end, trying to sideswipe on a flick to the deep backhand corner, it felt like 2 changes of heart. And she went with the 3rd choice, and it was just too much to try and fool the world number 1. Didn't miss by much, though.
Shasha has got her foot on the gas.
This is where leg days really pay off. Shasha putting in the work. I've seen her in the training hall after playing a match, and I've seen her before a match, and they're both as intense as when she's playing a match.
3-6.
That is a wonderful slow spin up down the parallel. That's a brave shot.
Bravery, that's been the theme today.
And it's a show again from Shasha. Kwai Man tried to up the power and go cross court. Couldn't quite find the table. And Shasha re-establishes that 4-point advantage here with 2 serves to come.
You used the word chokehold earlier, and I think that's the perfect term. Shasha, the reason she can have such a chokehold is because she understands what her responsibility is. It's to raise the level, to make the others work that much harder on the team. And she continues to do it. Don't think that Kwai Man won't have less quality sleep tonight because of Game 7 here if it continues the way it did. But that one night, there'll be a lot of processing going on, and with this momentum, 6 of the last 8, Shasha knows that the long picture, the big game, is that Kwai Man will be better for it.
Absolutely. Shasha 2 away now from a 6th Grand Smash title. Make that 1 away. And Kwai Man has got to go to the well again. She's got to summon up some powers of recovery, but even this one surely can't be done.
Well, that's one way to survive, my goodness. We saw Truls from 2-9 down deuce it up in the decider. That ball came in hot, and it came back absolutely boiling. 1 championship point saved, 6 more to go for Shasha.
Shasha wins her 6th Smash title.
And she does it in style, not for lack of competition. finally, somebody could close the door on Kwai Mon. You said she doesn't know when she's lost. Well, she hadn't. Before this, she never had. Not here, not in LA. But Sasha finally was able to remind the rest of the team and the rest of the world that there is a bar and that it keeps moving up. The standards don't stop evolving. Baby Buddha, like it's nothing. Doesn't rub it in. She simply cleans her racket, puts it in a case of a photographer, and gets ready to do what she does and lead the team to continue growing in the world of table tennis.
And this is how it went down. 7 games of wonderful table tennis, 70 points to 58. Sasha recording just over a 63% clip on her service percentage win. Shout out to Kwai Mon. She tried to rally, but she couldn't quite get it done. Sasha gets her 6th WTT Smash title. And you know what? The queen of the US Smash. We're going to hear from her now because she's with our very own Charmian.
Here to say congratulations to our US Smash 2026 Women's Singles Champion, Suning Shah. Sasha, first of all, tell us how you feel right now about this victory. 恭喜莎莎夺得女单冠军哦，那可以给我们分享一下此刻的心情和感受吗？
我觉得首先今天这场决赛，我觉得我跟蒯曼双方之间还是都发挥出了自己最好的水平。其实面对今天这场决赛，我觉得其实在赛前的这种准备当中也是立足于拼吧，因为我觉得蒯曼在这一站的比赛的表现中还是非常出色的，而且他前2场比赛都是落后，然后逆转进到决赛，所以说在决赛的困难准备当中，我觉得自己还是做的比较充分。其实虽然上来2比0领先，再到3比1，然后第5局有3个赛点没拿下来，我觉得还是依然能够让自己保持这种专注跟冷静吧。然后我觉得其实对自己来说也是一个非常大的进步。然后我觉得还是非常开心能够在美国大满贯吧，然后拿下冠军，这也是我第一个在美国大满贯的赛事中拿下冠军。
First of all, I think that both of us displayed a very high level of play today. Kwai Mon herself is in great form this US Smash. We've seen her comebacks. She can do it. So I'm very proud of her. But today I felt like my prep before this match was really thorough. Points lost. I managed to stay calm and make sure that I got back into the game. And I'm just very happy to be winning my very first US Smash 2026 Women's Singles title. Now, this is your 6th WTT Grand Smash Singles title win. How would you say your overall form was during this period, as well as your growth and breakthroughs that you've had? 那这也是你的第6座大满贯赛事单打冠军奖杯哦。会如何总结自己这段时间的整体状态以及成长与突破呢？
觉得首先成绩我觉得是一方面吧，我觉得对于现在的自己来说，还是希望能够通过比赛当中的一些技战术，包括对自己的心态，我觉得能够有更多的进步跟提高，我觉得是第一位的。因为我觉得其实从伦敦世锦赛结束以后，自己也有一个调整期，我觉得整体来说，自己的身心包括状态还是都得到了很好的休息。然后面对下半年的赛事，自己也会全力以赴的去拼，然后这也是下半年的第一个比赛，所以我觉得整体来说还是非常满意吧。
Let me just remember this real quick. What was my question again? Okay, yes, I got it. Okay, so I believe that results is one thing, but what I really prioritize is my own growth and breakthroughs during each and every event that I play. Of course, after London, I make sure to prioritize my own recovery and make sure to keep on training. But I think that's generally what I want to go for each and every event, is to make sure that my own growth, and there's always improvement in every event that I play. I hope I got that. Now, Shasha, you truly have the best fans in the world. I mean, they've been there every step of the way. Is there anything you'd like to say to them? 从踏上这片赛场到最终成功夺冠哦，一路都有球迷的陪伴与支持。那此时此刻有什么想对他们说的吗？
我觉得其实洛杉矶自己之前来洛杉矶训练过，但其实也是第一次来洛杉矶比赛。我觉得这座城市还是给我留下了很多美好的回忆吧。现在哈，那我觉得确实，那我觉得其实确实能够今天看到现场有这么多的粉丝，包括也有很多中国人来到现场支持我们的比赛。然后我觉得其实今天一天比赛，我觉得作为自己来说，我觉得还是发挥出了自己最好的水平，然后也给大家呈现了很精彩的表现吧。然后最后想说 ，keep fighting。
Well, I've trained here in LA, but this is my first time competing here, and I'm just so happy to see so many fans coming out here to watch us, especially Chinese fans flying all the way out here. Thank you so much. I'm just very happy to be playing here, and of course, keep fighting. Thank you so much. Shasha, 再次恭喜你。
Well, she did keep fighting, and she's earned her 6th WTT Grand Smash title, and rightly so. The world #1 put on a clinic. She's so full of class, so full of appreciation for Kwai Man and the rest of her teammates. She owns that responsibility to lead this nation, to raise the bar continually for everyone as she fires a few sign balls into the crowd. And a few people are going to go home very, very happy. What a piece of memorabilia, a piece of history signed by the new champion. I love that she also said she was happy in her preparation. So often we see these brief moments on court and you see these champions flourish under the lights, but champions aren't built there. They're built in the training hall. They're built with dedication. They're built through sweat and tears. And look how happy she is to get a piece of history. This is a remarkable athlete. She's just earned her 6th WTT Grand Smash title, and she will keep fighting. Shasha wins the big one here at the US Smash. So we've seen the matchup, and it's almost time to get the trophies in their hands. Kwai Man, a very well-deserved runners-up trophy. We'll see that soon. And Shasha will get the gold in her hands. Welcome back inside the Maverick Arena, which has just seen Sunyin Shah clinch the women's singles title here, her 6th Grand Smash title of her career. But look at what's coming. The next Smash just around the corner. The biggest summer party, Adam, in Sweden. QR codes on the screen.
Yeah, you don't even have to think of yourself as a party person. When you're there, you'll be like, oh man, this is what it's all about. This is next level. Be there. I'll be there. Can't wait to see you.
And we are about ready for the trophy presentation for the women's singles. It's coming up now.
Welcome to US Smash 2026. Coming to you live from the Maverick Arena, this is the women's singles final trophy presentation. Before we begin, let us welcome our presenters for this special occasion. WTT Match Officials Manager, Miss Tina Krata. WTT Senior Event Manager, Mr. Carl Indra. And WTT Partnerships Director, Mr. Johnny Cohen. We shall begin with the trophy presentation for the umpires of the women's singles final. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the umpires, Akram Benatia from Tunisia and Clayton Pavlicek from the United States of America. Here to present the trophies to our umpires, please welcome Miss Tina Krata. And let's grab a photo together. Thank you, Miss Krata, and thank you, umpires. And now, let's welcome the finalist of the women's singles final from China, Kwai Man. Here to present the trophy to our finalist, please welcome Mr. Carl Indra. Let's grab a photo. Thank you, Mr. Indra. Maverick Arena, this is your finalist of the women's singles final. Congratulations, Kwai Man! And thank you, finalist. It is now time to welcome your champion of the women's singles final. From China, Sunyin Shah! Here to present the trophy to our champion, please welcome Mr. Johnny Cohen. Let's grab a photo with our champion. And now let's welcome back our finalist and Mr. Indra for a group photo. Thank you, presenters. Ladies and gentlemen,
these are your US Smash 2026 Women's Singles Final Trophy winners! Thank you to our finalists. Maverick Arena, I present you your champion of the US Smash 2026 Women's Singles Final. It is China, Sun Yingsha! Thank you, Shasha, and well done. Thank you, Shasha. We have now come to the end of the Women's Singles Final Trophy presentation. Up next, Men's Singles Final on the way.
Well, what a wonderful moment that was to see Shasha get the trophy in her hands. Reminder, last year she suffered a shock round of 16 loss. She has made up for that this year. She is the champion. What a fantastic week for this 25-year-old who just continues to exceed expectations. She is the gold standard in the women's game. She forces you to take so many risks against her, and when you take the foot off the gas, she beats you there as well. But look at what's coming. Men's final time. And who would have ever thought a week ago that these two would be throwing down for the gold? But they are. Will it be the Sora show?